My impression is that the center of gravity is actually moving east. I've been surprised by some of the things that I have heard from officials who are not from the new member states of Central and Eastern Europe, who are quite upset about Russian actions and determined that the EU should stay united on this. But there are some very real challenges to that unity. Number one, it's just complex. 28 countries have to get together and decide something. And we have had Europe really suffering through an economic crisis and the divisions between North and South that that economic crisis has created. So there are some countries who really are so focused on their domestic economies that this crisis seems very far removed from them. And so right now they're going along, but it's not something that if it starts to bear real costs for them, it could be a different situation. And I think one of the things that we have to realize here in the United States is that our economic involvement with Russia is minuscule compared to that of Europe. Europe, it's very complicated. We're talking about annual trade in goods and services in both directions of something like 360 billion euros, so that's close to $400 billion, I think. And the United States is about a tenth of that. 75% of investment in Russia, foreign investment in Russia, is from EU countries. So it's trade, it's European companies being in Russia. So how do you put more sanctions on without disturbing what those companies are already doing? Do you just focus on new investments, restrict new investments? That's one strategy. How can Russia retaliate? There have already been some very nasty Russian-European, shall we say, corporate battles about European companies being looked at for back taxes and things like that. So there has been harassment in the past of European companies, some of the European companies.